What's up, you guys? I wanted to make a brief intro to this video since it really is important and special to Deon and myself. We share some personal things that happen to us, whether it be mental health issues or some addictions that we ended up running across through our lifetime and how we overcame them. So this video goes to anyone that's dealing with either an addiction or mental health issue. Know that you're not alone. Know that you can reach out to either a family member or a friend. And if you feel that that may not be an option for you, know that there are those professionals out there that are willing to help you, that are willing to hear you out. So without further ado, guys, I want to go ahead and share this video with you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a good one. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the OG podcast. My name is Chris.
And I'm Deon.
You know what? I ain't even gonna say anything. So much has been going on that school, work,
life,
website,
period.
just
bro.
life and period is it's been a little chaotic with these last few weeks, bro. Anyway, we're here though.
Yeah,
we're definitely here.
Going through puberty, a little break in your voice.
A little bit. A little bit. Right. Anyway, what topics we got, bro?
Well, like I said, we were speaking a few days ago on the phone about my past addictions and stuff like that. I wanted to kind of like touch on it this week. So, you know, there might be someone listening to it that's going through it, so it could probably possibly help someone.
That's a good idea.
So like it's pretty much mental health and well-being and addiction and how to overcome it. So do you have any addictions or anything that you had before that you would like to share?
Oh man. Well, we shared it a little bit.
Right.
We shared it a little bit the last episode that I was a heavy drinker for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, man. I remember. I put it this way, to not get into so much detail, right? I grew up with my grandmother.
Okay.
So, having the dynamic of missing parents really, it puts a young kid in a tough spot.
Right.
Still growing up, obviously, it was I'm not gonna say the worst,
right?
But it definitely did have its rough spots here and there. Getting out of high school, bro, even a little before then, obviously I had already been drinking for a little bit
during high school,
but during high school, but more so after I graduated. I remember, as a matter of fact, I ended up going through another rut a little after my mom passed away.
Okay.
Actually, I think I told you about this actually, where I would go over to a homie's house every Friday.
Yeah, and just
and
black
so.
out,
Exactly. It was so bad, bro, where I would drink to the point where I would literally black out.
Wow.
And I wouldn't know anything until the following day. They would tell me, "Oh, do you remember this?" No.
Wow. Yeah.
They would get on full-on details what had happened the night prior, and I'm just like
oblivious. Yeah.
I remember having a couple drinks here and there, but that's
where it ends.
As far as it goes.
Wow.
Eventually, bro, I started noticing that it was taking a toll.
Right.
I'll be honest, I started going through a severe depression. I told you about that.
Right.
A huge help was someone that we shared mutually. It was Shakib.
Okay.
If it hadn't been for him, not literally, but hypothetically speaking, slapping me around,
right.
And telling me, hey, you need to get it together, and he was really the brother that I had for that moment that I was going through that rough time where, like, even though he was frustrated with me at times,
Right.
he would set me in my place. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
And to this day, even though him and I don't talk, I really do appreciate
right,
the fact that he helped me out through a lot and would always give me advice because he's Muslim.
right,
So he would always tell me, hey, this isn't right. This isn't what you're not supposed to be doing this.
right,
And not only that, but just as an older brother, period,
right, 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 right.
he would always see for my best interest.
Right.
So,
That's cool.
So yeah, man, it's
Yeah, he's a
just,
good dude. He's a
yeah,
good guy, man.
he is.
He's a good friend.
And it's unfortunate that him and I don't talk,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But
I kind of miss our dynamic, all three of us.
going out to the gym
Yeah,
was
man.
always
Yeah,
nice.
that was cool, bro.
Between the three of us. But yeah, man, it's. I know that it's hard for a lot of people to get out of that rut.
Right.
Easier said than done.
Yes, it is.
I understand that,
Yes, it is.
but it takes that one person,
Right.
to be able to be there for you and motivate you, influence you, however you want to put it, in order for you to be set on the right track, and Shaq really was, I guess, persistent,
Right.
because he didn't want to see me just do bad for the rest of
Right.
my life. You know what I mean? And thanks to him, things worked out.
Okay.
So if you have that one person that really does need the help, I know that it's
man.
tough sometimes, but
Yeah.
reach out.
Well,
What about you, bro?
Well, like I said, like we talked about it before a couple times. Back in my past, there was a lot of addiction in my past. I mean, it's well documented in my family. There's a lot of history of addiction, and a lot of people say it's hereditary, but I think it's mental, really, because it's always a choice. You know what I mean? It's a choice for you to start. It's a choice for you to stop. Some choices are harder than the others, but ultimately, it's a choice.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I saw what my father was doing. To put it like this, my father was he was addicted way back when the crack epidemic was really, really prevalent in Los Angeles, and our family was not spared.
I forget your dad was always in LA, huh?
Yeah, always. Yeah. And I saw that growing up. Like I said, my dad was always there physically, but mentally sometimes he wasn't there because of his addiction.
So that takes a toll on a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't share anything with my dad because he wasn't really there. You know what I mean? He was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like, we never went hungry. We always had a roof over our head, clothes on our back. Whatever he did, he made sure that we had what we needed to have. So he was always a father first, but his addiction was a close second. And I thought I was supposed to be that prevalent thing in his life, but at the time it just wasn't possible.
So here's my question, because I don't know if we ever touched base on this. What was it that got you started? What hooked you?
Well, the first thing was when my parents split up. So I was probably around like 16, 17. And I was actually at a friend's house, and there was like a group of friends that we were like I was in high school with. I realized that they lived across the street from me. It was crazy. We had lived across the street from each other for like a couple years and never even freaking knew it. So I went over there and we were like playing games, stuff like that. And they would always go to the back. They would all as a group, just leave me there on the couch and go to the back for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, what the hell? We must be talking about something or doing something, whatever. I'm like, whatever. I just kept playing my game, whatever. And this happened like 3 or 4 times while I was there.
Eventually you start
and I'm like,
curious.
Bro, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we don't want you to be a part of this. I'm like, dude, I'm already here. Like, what do you mean you don't want me to be a part of it? Long story short, they were doing drugs in the back. They didn't want me to be a part of it. I'm like, oh no, I've already done that before, blah, blah, blah. Like, just bullshit, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to seem like I was like the odd guy out, or I didn't know what was going on. So they're like, oh, okay, well, you already know. Oh, come on, man, and blah, blah, blah. And like, that's how it started. I didn't want to be left out. That's how I started. Like I said, it's a choice. I chose to go in there and do that.
So, okay. So you got hooked, right?
Yep.
Obviously, having the influence from friends, it kind of walked you down that path.
Yeah.
What was the darkest time that you ended up going through while you were on?
Oh man. Well, I mean, there were a few. I mean, a lot of it was just like not sleeping for weeks at a time, and I mean, like seeing myself at the time when I started, I was like a good like probably like 220, 230, and about time I got to like my full on into it, I was about 185 pounds, bro. And I'm pretty tall dude, and I was looking really, 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 really bad, bro. And I just didn't. I was such in a dark space. I would just like sit down and just write, because it wasn't really. I mean, there was cell phones and stuff like that at the time, but it really wasn't like prevalent as it is now. So I would just sit back and I would just write. Everything I was writing was so dark, bro. Like everything that I felt inside was just. I mean, all the darkest things, all the darkest thoughts that I've ever thought came out onto paper. If it was a song, poetry, whatever, it was all there. And I think about the stuff that I wrote, and it was just like everything was like fire and death and destruction, and just like
all your demons start coming out once you put pen and paper together.
Yeah, I didn't want to be here anymore. I just didn't want to be here anymore. You know, it's like, and I don't know, I really don't know what like got me to pull out of that. All I really knew is that, like,
okay, let me rephrase the question. Can you remember the time where you were in a headspace and you were just like, you know what, this is it, this is rock bottom? Like, what was that moment that defined it for you, and what made you realize that was the lowest that you've sunk?
I never really thought about it. I mean, if I had to choose one, it's probably when my mother found out. When my mother found out, because she had already been through that with my dad.
Yeah.
And then she thought I was just like out exercising, losing weight, and blah, blah, blah. Because now I would come back like 2 or 3 days at a time, like, oh, yeah. And then I would look thinner, and she's like, oh my God, look at you, you're so skinny, so small, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm exercising. And then when she really found out what was really going on, and she just like...
How did she find out?
I think another friend that lived in the building, told her, like, hey, you need to really keep an eye on your son.
Oh, shoot.
But he's one of my good friends too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it hadn't been
for him, then she wouldn't have found out. Then I wouldn't have been confronted. And I never saw my mom cry like that before. You know, and I think that's the thing, seeing that I hurt her. That I wasn't just hurting myself, that I hurt her.
Yeah.
The one person that I never wanted to hurt in this world, I hurt her the most. And for me, that was like, okay, I gotta stop. And from then, I just like cold turkey, stop. And this was like a year and a half into it. This is a minute, bro. This wasn't just like, a couple times. No, bro, this is like a year and a half into it. And I mean, it's the best thing I could have did was stop, of course. I mean, over the years, I had like relapse. I kept doing it every once in a while, here and there, but never as I did before.
So I know that this was something that we ended up talking about, but what was did you end up going through withdrawals by any chance? Like when you were, because I mean, I'm sure having to cut it out cold turkey must have had its drawbacks.
Yeah. I mean, there are times where, I mean, my withdrawals were different because I was still smoking cigarettes and I was still smoking weed. So
you kind of
I kind of like weaned myself.
You're going towards cigarettes more. Yeah,
exactly. So I
you
kind of
know
like
why I
detox
know
myself.
Because that's how it was with me, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's the same concept.
Yeah, you trade one for another.
You put the bottle into your mouth, right?
Right.
Because it was that constant just throwing one back during the weekends.
Right.
So what I was doing was I was substituting it with cigarettes too at the time.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it was just a trade-off is what it was. Because then I remember, as a matter of fact, when Shaq and I were working over at the credit card processing place, I came back from break one day, bro, and he like covered and mind you, like he had already told me, a couple times, like, hey, bro, you need to slow it down. You know what I mean? But this day in specific, I felt bad because I sat like maybe 3 or 4 feet away from him, right?
Right.
And I had just gotten back from break, and he starts like doing this, like starts covering his mouth and his nose, and I remember like he's like, bro, I can't. And then finally he like took his shirt and like put it over his face. He's like, bro, you need to chill. He's like, you don't smell, Chris? He's like, you reek of cigarettes, bro.
Yeah, when you smoke, you don't smell it.
Exactly.
You don't smell it at all.
So
I never did until now.
So yeah, dude, he's like, you know what? And talking about weaning off and then trading it for something else, he's the one that ended up getting me started with vaping.
Oh wow.
Because
he's like, it's safer.
Because he was the same way, bro. I mean, not that Shaq probably wants this out there, but whatever. Sorry. He was another one that would party every weekend,
right?
And he would be smoking, and he ended up going through something similar at his home.
Right.
So he ended up giving up cigarettes and traded off because supposedly it was healthier.
Right. A lot of people did that though.
So yeah, he's the one that got me started with the vape. Yeah. But well, I'm glad, man, that you ended up clearing that up for yourself.
Well, you know what? They actually, I think if I really think back, the really like saving grace for me, I think, was becoming homeless. I think becoming homeless actually saved my life. Bullshit you not. Being homeless saved my life. It gave me a new perspective, definitely. A new living dynamic, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And it got me really
so here's
to really like look at myself.
Here's something that you and I never talked. How'd you end up like that?
I ended up homeless after my mother found out. I guess I don't know.
So you're still living at home?
I was still living at home at that time.
Ooh.
When she had found out, I think like a couple months after that, she had lost her job.
Yeah.
And then pretty much like we all split up. I don't know how it happened or why it happened, but she went with one guy that she was seeing. Both of my sisters went to another place. I went with like a cousin, and then I stayed with my cousin for like a couple of months. But then I really couldn't hack it there. I'm like, no, I don't want to be there. And I became homeless. I was homeless for almost 2 years, and I really didn't want to tell anybody.
Damn.
I mean, I never was like dirty or anything like that. I've always looked like I was well kept and everything. I never looked like I was homeless, but like I would sleep in stairwells. I'll sleep on top of roofs.
You know what's crazy?
All kind of stuff,
I
bro.
just started reading Joey Diaz's story. I mean, he's always been very open about it through his stand-up comedy.
Right.
But he got more intimate with the story. He just wrote a book, like an autobiography.
Okay.
So, and for any of you guys that want to look it up, he actually ended up stating the same thing I'm about to say on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple years ago, that he was going through addiction, right? And so he became homeless. And you know how there's those playgrounds that were I don't know about if there are any now, that had like those little castles
Yeah.
and stuff. So, bro, he would go to the extent of he would sleep in one of those little places in a playground,
Right.
you know.
I
And
thought about it.
and so he was
thought
talking
about
about it. He was talking about it in Joe Rogan's podcast, where he was just like, what did it for me was I finally, like, I was coming off of it like around 5 a.m, and like I'm looking at my surroundings and I'm in a playground.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would I don't know how I would feel. I don't know what my reaction would be. I honestly think that if that were me personally, bro, I'd probably snap and probably break down and cry.
Oh,
because I'm sure
I did plenty of times. I was like I'm thinking like this is what my life is gonna be for the rest of my life. Like I'm just gonna be homeless. I'm like, it can only get worse from this. I wasn't thinking, it can only get better. I'm at the bottom.
All right, so you decided because of the situation with your mom and obviously you being homeless, you were just like, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
Stopped cold turkey.
Yep.
What started getting you back on your feet?
I prayed for the first time in my life. I got on my knees and I prayed, and I prayed hard, bro. Like, I think this is the only time I really really said a real prayer. And I just prayed for God to send me some type of like sign. I literally said a shooting star, something that I can see, like to get me through this, to know that there's some type of hope that this is not my life. And about 2-3 days later, I was staying with a friend. I was staying with a friend in the building that I used to stay in. Mm-hmm. I was actually the building, the stairwell that I was staying in. I used to live in that building. I was familiar with that surrounding. That's why I kind of knew where people wouldn't go, you know. So I went and stayed with her for like a couple days, and her aunt and her aunt's friend came, and it was my future wife. I didn't even know.
That's crazy.
I didn't even know. And when they introduced me to her, it's like, oh, this is my aunt, this is her friend. I shook the friend's hand, and she smiled at me. And she has a star on her tooth. My wife, she literally has a gold star on one of her teeth. I guess it was from like a childhood cavity or something like that. They patched it up with like a gold star.
What?
So when she smiled at me, and I just looked at her like,
I'd have been like, this woman's Cuban.
I know. It was just so weird. And it was just so like, I'm like, is this a sign I'm waiting for? Because I asked for a shooting star or something I can see. So I took that as a sign.
That's crazy.
And then, long story short, a couple months later, we were married. We got married really, really quick. And that's crazy, man. And bro. Well, this is 18 years later. We're still married. We got two kids. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. I mean, there's a lot of in between stuff there too.
Of course. I mean, any relationship, you know.
Yeah. I mean, even since then, there's been times where I thought about it. Like I told you, the last time I actually thought about it was when my mom passed. She passed last year. That was a time where I almost relapsed.
You know what's funny?
It's crazy, bro.
So I met my wife. Was it 3 or 4 years? I think 4 years after my mom passed away, and I was still going through it, bro. Like, to this day, I mean, there's still moments. Like, for instance, Mother's Day is one.
Tomorrow,
her birthday is another, and my birthday is the biggest one. And, like, it just hits me out of nowhere. But I remember the year that I met my wife, we were having dinner, and I was just tossing them back.
Really?
Like, I don't know, bro. I just started thinking about my mom, and I was telling my wife, I was just like, you know what? I was like, I kind of feel like a drink. And mind you, like, I could have maybe one, and I'm done usually, right? But that night, bro, I don't know. I guess I was in my feels.
Right.
And I was just after another after, and the following morning, I never said anything to her. The following morning, bro, I was like, no, this isn't
Can't
it.
do it.
No, I was like, if I continue down this path again, I was like, I don't know what it's gonna be like in the long run, and I don't want that.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it's tough.
It's crazy,
But
bro. I mean, if it wasn't for her, if it wasn't for my wife, I mean, she saw the potential in me before I saw it. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a woman who took a chance on me. She's coming from a whole different country. She took a chance on a homeless guy that she met.
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? This is why I believe it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Because, and she loves me for me, not for what I have, because I didn't have anything. Literally, I had nothing. And yeah, man, she's my angel, man. That's why whatever she's going through, I'm always gonna be there. I'm never gonna leave her unless God takes me. So that's where we're at right now.
Well, I'm proud of you, man, because you and I have talked about this before. It's not something to just stop.
Right.
Especially the type of substances that you were dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard stories, and as a matter of fact, I have a family member that's no longer with us because that was the life that they chose, unfortunately. With that being said, you know, it was a blessing in disguise for you, because I mean, if it had not been certain circumstances that you ended up going through,
right,
who knows where you would have been today.
Exactly. Bro,
Yeah.
I literally see, okay, because I used to be a bus driver for Metro.
Yeah.
And I would see guys that I used to do meth with. Like, this is like probably like 10 years later. And I'm seeing him get on my bus and I'm like, holy crap. Like, I know this guy. Like, I was, hey, what's up, man? And he's like out of it. Teeth are gone, sores everywhere. And I'm like, we were doing the same thing at the same time.
That's crazy.
I stopped, he kept going. Now look at him. I could have been right where he is.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the scariest moments.
So to wrap up this conversation, if in case, well, I mean, not if in case, I know that there's some advice that you would offer, because I'm sure there's a lot more people that are going through it right now. So what advice do you have for them?
You're not alone, of course. I always thought I was by myself in this, and I'm not. Seek out like-minded people that you trust, and it's never too late to get help, man. Like, speak on it. Like, don't be quiet about it. If you feel like you got a problem, even if you feel like you have a small problem, it's worth talking about.
Yeah, especially for us men, it's usually tough to open up about stuff like this. And this is another reason why I've always appreciated the friendship that you and I have built, and that brotherhood, because I mean, how many times haven't we called
right.
either you up, or you call me up, and we've been able to open up, and kind of I guess lighten the mood, you know, and make each other feel that hey, you know, don't drop the ball, you can keep going, whatever the case may be. But
when we talk to each other,
there's always that one person.
Right. It's like, we don't make each other feel like, you shouldn't be feel like that. Yeah, be a man. Like, it's never like that. It's like, you got something on your mind, let me know.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm here to listen. That's it. That's what you need. You need someone to listen to you. That's
right.
Because most men don't have someone to listen to them. Yeah.
And if not, you guys could always feel free to comment. You know, we'll hear you out too. I've always been that type of person where it's just I don't judge, you know, a book by its cover.
I get to know the person first.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But yeah, man. What else we got? Let's try to lighten the mood here. What else we got on the plate?
Okay. Let's see. Well, like I said, me and you've been gaming it up a lot. Bro, let's talk about Destiny 2, bro.
So I logged in yesterday, and it was only for about 5 minutes, because remember I told you I was feeling good.
Right.
We've
My bad, by the way.
No, you're bro. I'm telling you, I was not feeling it. We've logged in almost 100 hours.
Oh, like I said, I have to do that. I have to do what I said I was gonna do, but I gotta do it on my phone.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Destiny 2 is insane.
It is insane, bro. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter game, right?
Right. That's my new
and
addiction.
I remember I kept on telling you, Genshin Impact, or what was the other one? Apex
Legends.
Yeah,
I can't get into it.
I was constantly on Apex for like roughly
my son used to play it a lot.
Yeah, like roughly 3 months, right? And then when we found Destiny 2, I was like, bro, it submerges you into this world,
right?
And talking about addictions,
bro. I was actually gonna suggest Valorant, but my son and my daughter play that, and I just didn't want to get into the same game that my kids are playing.
Yeah.
So this is similar.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually tried it. I didn't like it.
I can't get into it.
I didn't like it.
I know it's like Apex.
Hit.
It's like Apex, and it's like what's that other one? No, really, the popular one.
Halo?
No.
Call of Duty?
No.
Oh no, I'm running out of options here.
Fortnite.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to be in one of those. So.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. After we ended up finding Destiny 2, the whole gameplay, the fact that you can actually play cross-platform. Right, so like if you're on PS5 or you're on PC,
right.
That was
kind of like how we do. Yeah.
That was another attraction to me. And then the customization to not just the weapons, but then the fact that you can go and customize all of your outfit from your boots to the arm guards,
colors,
everything.
You can create your own teams, your own fire teams. You can go and do missions by yourself.
Even the ships.
Yeah.
You can even customize those.
It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they go and create different missions,
and they're
weekly.
Detailed, bro.
Yeah,
they're super detailed.
Yeah,
and it's like no matter, like if you don't want to spend any money at all, you can still have a good experience just playing a game, just a free.
Bro, we've been playing it. We've been playing on it for free.
So this whole time, I mean, if you want to like get like different levels or something like that.
By the way, guys, we're not sponsored whatsoever.
Not at all. It's just a great game.
This is a great game that both Deon and I have enjoyed fully. Yeah,
almost every night, bro. We're on at least for like 2-3 hours, bro.
2 or 3 hours, and sometimes we're even up to like maybe
1 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
knowing I got to go to work the next day.
Yeah, no kidding. You gonna hop on tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Got to. Missed yesterday, so.
Yeah, I know.
And I gotta hit the gym.
We're looking for a third, by the way. If anyone wants to join in on our team, again, comment so that way you could let us know, username or whatever.
Definitely.
But yeah, we're looking for a third.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else we got, bro?
That's about it, man. For right now. Save the rest for the next one.
Yeah, I think this is this is a good one. All right, guys. Well,
hopefully this can help someone.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Like I said, if in case you guys are going through something, the comment section is always open. Or just reach out. I think there's an email address that I ended up linking in our bio.
Okay.
And if that's not the route that you want to take, obviously there are lines that you can go ahead and call or search up online that obviously professional people are always willing to help. But
man, if there's someone that you suspect or someone that you love is close to you that you think that might be involved with an addiction or have an addiction, or don't be afraid to try to help that person, because you might be the person that brings them out of it.
Yeah, you never know.
you never know if you'll be saving that person's life.
Yeah. I kind of wish I had someone that would kind of like pull me out. I had one, but you know, there's always room for more people to help you out, man. You know,
all right, guys. Well,
yeah,
that's it for this one.
That'll be it, man.
We're out. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you share this with any of your friends. And then obviously
hit that bell notification so you know when we drop a new video. Definitely.
Yep.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Well, just like that, we're out.
Peace out.
Peace.